My child, stop right here. Something just shifted around you the moment your eyes fell on this message, and you can feel it even if you do not fully understand it yet. That sudden pull in your spirit, that breath you did not realize you were holding, that quiet trembling inside your chest, that is me. I am stepping into your moment with a seriousness you have not felt from me before, and I need you to hear me without running, without doubting, without distracting yourself, because this is urgent. I am not speaking casually. I am not whispering gently, like I have done so many times before. I am raising my voice in your spirit, because heaven has placed this message before you with intention, precision, and divine timing. Urgent. I am commanding you to open this. This is my final message to you. Do not ignore me this one last time. I am not saying this to frighten you. I am saying it because I love you too deeply to let you slip away from what is coming toward you. You do not know how close you are to the edge of something new. You do not know how close you are to breakthrough, to clarity, to healing, to the moment you have prayed for without even realizing how close it stands. And because you do not see what I see, because you do not feel the full weight of what is moving around your life in the unseen, I am stepping in with urgency. If you walk away from this moment, if you brush this off the way you have brushed off other signs I placed in your path, if you tell yourself I will read this later, you may miss something that was meant to shift your future. My child, I am not exaggerating. There is something woven into this message that your spirit needs now. Not tomorrow, not later. Now. This moment is not like the others, and you can feel that truth rising inside you even as you read. You have ignored my gentle whispers before. You have silenced the tug in your heart because you were busy, overwhelmed, hurt, confused, or afraid. You have walked past signs I placed in front of you, thinking they were coincidences or emotional illusions. You have told yourself maybe it is not God, when it was me all along. You have pushed aside my warnings because you did not want to face what they would require you to change or confront. And I did not stop you. I let you walk your path. I stayed beside you, hoping you would notice when I reached for you. But this moment is different. This moment carries too much spiritual weight for me to let you ignore it again. This moment is the intersection between your past and your future, the bridge between where you have been and where I am taking you, the breath before a turning point begins. That is why I am calling out to you with urgency, with sorrow in my tone for the pain you have carried, but also with power, because I refuse to let you walk into another cycle of loss or confusion when something greater has already been set in place for you. I need you to understand something. You did not land on this message by accident. You did not scroll your way here. You did not stumble into this by chance. Your spirit was guided here. Whether you felt a small pull, a sudden pause, an unexpected curiosity, or an inner voice urging you to stop, that was me. I brought you here because your heart has reached the exact level of awareness where it is finally able to receive what I have been trying to give you for so long. Heaven has opened a window over your life. A rare moment where things align in ways they do not always align, and if you walk away, that moment will not wait indefinitely. I am not threatening you. I am telling you the truth that your spirit already senses. This is divine timing. This is heaven intervening. This is me placing my hand gently, firmly, lovingly over yours and saying, listen now. You have been carrying so much, my child. You have been wandering through days that felt empty and nights that felt endless. You have been trying to hold yourself together when your heart felt like it was breaking quietly inside your chest. You have been living with questions that torment your thoughts, with fears that make you doubt your path, with wounds that still ache no matter how much time has passed. I have watched all of this not from afar but from inches away. I have stood beside you while you cried. I have held your heart when it chipped. I have whispered reassurance into your spirit when you felt like you were falling apart. I have protected you from things you never even knew were coming against you. And yet, even with all the love I have poured over you, you have often convinced yourself that you were alone. But you were never alone. Not even for a breath, not even for a moment, not even in the seasons when you could not feel me. And now, I am here again, not as a gentle whisper, not as a quiet thought, but as a force stepping into your world saying, enough. Listen to me now, because this moment has the power to open something inside you that has been shut for too long. This moment has the power to change the direction of your steps. This moment has the power to pull you out of cycles that have kept you trapped. This moment has the power to unlock clarity in areas that have confused you for years. This moment has the power to bring you into alignment with the life you were meant to live. Type guide my steps. Lord, if you are seeking His hand in your journey, that is why I am speaking with urgency. That is why I am commanding your attention. That is why your heart feels warm, tense, awakened, or emotional right now. Your spirit recognizes my voice even if your mind is still catching up. You feel seen in a way you cannot explain. You feel reached in a way you did not expect. You feel something inside you shifting like the ground beneath your soul is moving. That is because heaven is breathing into your life right now. My child, this message is not just words. It is a turning point, a marker, a crossroads, a spiritual interruption so divine it would have found you anywhere you tried to hide. I need you to stay. I need you to listen. I need you to understand that this message carries something your future depends on. Not because I am threatening you, but because I love you enough to tell you the truth. This is my final message to you in this season. Not final as in I will stop speaking, but final as in this is your last warning before the shift begins, your last call before the door moves, your last moment to open your heart before what is coming arrives. I will not let this moment pass without you knowing its importance. You are chosen in this moment. You are held in this moment. You are seen, known, and pursued in this moment. And now that I have your attention, now that your spirit is awake, now that you feel me near, I want you to breathe and prepare yourself for what I am about to say next, because it will go deeper than anything you have heard before. My child, let me speak to you with a depth and seriousness that reaches into the very center of your spirit, because when I call this a final message, I do not speak of abandoning you, nor do I speak of withdrawing my presence or my love. I speak of a turning point, a final call in this season of your life before a major shift takes place, a moment where you stand at a spiritual crossroads, and the direction you choose will shape what unfolds next. Final does not mean I am walking away. It means that what comes after this moment will depend on how you respond right now. I have guided you through countless whispers, countless signs, countless nudges, countless moments when I tried to reach you gently, hoping that your heart would pause long enough to truly hear me. But this moment is different. This moment carries the weight of timing that will not repeat in the same way again, because heaven has aligned something precise, delicate, and time-sensitive for your journey, and your awareness right now is more crucial than you realize. My child, you have reached a point where the next step of your life hinges on your ability to recognize my voice, to trust my leading, and to respond to my call. You are no longer in the early stages where I gently adjust your path in silence. You are standing at the threshold of something that will require your cooperation, your openness, your readiness, and your willingness to move. When I say move, that is why this message comes with such urgency. That is why my tone feels stronger, deeper, more commanding. You are at a spiritual intersection. One road leads you forward into healing, purpose, growth, clarity, blessing, and divine alignment. The other leads you back into cycles that drained you, patterns that wounded you, relationships that harmed you, fears that controlled you, and delays that have already taken too much from your heart. And I am standing here, holding your hand, trying to pull you toward the path that will bring life to your soul. I need you to understand this with clarity. Ignoring me now will not make me stop loving you, but it will bring consequences of delay. It will bring confusion that could have been avoided. It will bring missed blessings that were meant to reach you in this appointed time. When I say before it is too late, I am not threatening you. I am revealing truth. There are blessings that come by timing, not just destiny. There are opportunities that appear when the heart is ready. There are doors that open only in certain seasons. There are healings that begin when you step into surrender. There are breakthroughs that require your participation. And when heaven aligns these things, when all the threads come together, at the exact moment, the window that opens is precious. If ignored, it closes not forever, but in ways that delay what was meant to be beautiful and timely. And I know you have felt some of this tension inside you. You felt something shifting without knowing what it meant. You felt moments of restlessness that made no sense. You felt a quiet pressure in your heart, like something was calling you forward. You felt emotional waves that seemed to come out of nowhere. You felt memories resurfacing, old ones coming up, fears confronting you, desires awakening, and questions rising. All signs that your spirit has been preparing for a transition, even when you did not understand it, even when you did not recognize it as divine stirring. Your heart has been opening slowly, gently, painfully at times, making room for what I have been trying to give you. And that is why I say final, not because I am done speaking to you, but because this is the last message in a long chain of attempts to bring you into this moment of readiness. It is the final push before the shift. It is the final call before the path changes. It is the final whisper that must become a voice you cannot ignore. It is the moment where my tone carries urgency, because every gentle nudge that came before did not break through the way this moment must. Please support our channel. Our work is devoted to bringing happiness, peace, and devotion to God into your life. If you wish, you can show your love and appreciation by donating through Super Thanks. You have asked me for clarity. You have asked me for signs. You have asked me to reveal myself. You have asked me for direction. You have asked me to make your path clear, and I heard every request. I saw every moment when confusion clouded your decisions, every moment when fear made you hesitate, every moment when doubt made you wonder if you were losing yourself, every moment when your heart longed for something real, steady, loving, purposeful, and healing. I saw you trying to find your own answers, because you did not know how to find mine. I saw you navigating life with both courage and trembled uncertainty. I saw your heart breaking open quietly as you kept pushing through your days. And I waited for the moment when your heart would soften enough, open enough, ache enough to truly listen. And now you are here, not because you are perfect, not because you did everything right, not because you followed every sign, but because your suffering humbled you, because your weariness weakened your defenses, because your longing cried louder than your distractions, because your spirit finally reached a place where it could feel me again, because heaven orchestrated this exact moment so that nothing could stop this message from reaching you. My child, this message comes with intense compassion and seriousness, because I can see what you cannot see yet. I can see the blessing that is approaching you, but I can also see the forces that would try to pull you away from it. I can see the healed version of you waiting on the other side of this choice, but I can also see the broken version of you that will keep suffering if you choose the familiar instead of the divine. I can see the opportunities forming around you, but I can also see how easy it would be for you to miss them if your heart closes again. I can see the love I want to give you through new relationships and new seasons. But I can also see the loneliness that will remain if you return to what hurt you. I can see the clarity I want to pour into your mind, but I also see the confusion that will come if you continue ignoring your spirit. I am not threatening loss. I am revealing the danger of delay. I am not speaking finality as an ending. I am speaking it as an invitation into something new. When I say final message, I mean this is the final warning before the shift and the final invitation before the blessing. I am not stepping back from you, I am stepping closer. But I am also drawing a line in the sand of your spirit saying, this is the moment to choose me fully, because the road ahead requires your surrender. The next chapter requires your attention. The new season requires your willingness. You cannot walk forward while holding on to what broke you. You cannot step into blessing while clinging to old wounds. You cannot embrace purpose while fearing change. You cannot receive what I am giving if you keep returning to what I remove. This moment, this message is the turning point where your heart finally meets my intention. You are more open than you have been in years. You are more aware. You are more ready. Pain softened you, loss made you humble, waiting made you attentive, tears made you sensitive, loneliness made you search for me again. Everything you walked through has prepared you for this exact moment. And so I am speaking with compassion because I know how much you suffered. I am speaking with seriousness because I know how much this moment matters. I am speaking with urgency because I know what is coming. And I am speaking with love because I am determined not to lose you to another cycle of delay or heartbreak. My child, breathe, let your heart settle. Let your spirit receive what I am saying. My child, let me speak into the quiet places of your heart, the places you do not show to anyone, the places you hide behind a steady face and a tired smile, because I know how worn you have become inside, how drained your soul feels, and how heavy your inner world has been to carry alone. You have been confused for so long, trying to make sense of emotions that rise and fall without warning, trying to understand why your thoughts spin in circles, trying to understand why clarity slips away even when you search for it, trying to understand why you feel torn between wanting change and feeling afraid of it, trying to understand why your heart feels unsettled, even when nothing specific has gone wrong. Confusion has wrapped itself around you like a fog, making it hard for you to trust your choices, your feelings, your instincts, and even my voice at times. And because you cannot see your way forward, you have been feeling empty, a kind of emptiness that is not dramatic but quiet. A hollow feeling that sits in your chest and makes every day feel a little heavier, a little slower, a little less meaningful, as if something inside you is missing, but you cannot name what it is. You have been tired of trying to fix yourself, trying to stay optimistic, trying to keep relationships together, trying to remain consistent, trying to be strong, trying to stay hopeful, trying to appear stable, trying to move forward when your heart keeps pulling you back, trying to make progress when you feel like you are barely holding on. You have been weary from the pressure of always needing to be the resilient one, the thoughtful one, the dependable one, the forgiving one, the strong one, and I know how deep that weariness runs. You have also felt spiritually distant, not because you do not love me, not because you do not want me, not because you walked away, but because your heart has been overwhelmed by everything else pressing in on you. You have felt disconnected from your own prayers, unsure whether they reach me, unsure whether I hear you, unsure whether you deserve my attention, unsure whether I am close or far, unsure whether your faith is enough, unsure whether you have disappointed me. This distance you feel is not a sign of failure. It is the result of emotional weight pressing so heavily on your spirit that it became difficult to feel anything at all. And that is why numbness has crept over you. A numbness you never chose but simply fell into as life kept piling on more than your heart could hold. You stopped feeling deeply not because you did not care, but because caring so much for so long exhausted the tender parts of you. You stopped reacting not because nothing mattered to you, but because everything mattered too much. Numbness became the shield that kept you surviving when your emotions became too heavy to process. You have been losing motivation as well, watching your energy fade even for things you once enjoyed, watching your drive slip through your fingers, watching your passion dim under the weight of discouragement. You find yourself staring at tasks that used to come easily, feeling overwhelmed by things that used to excite you, procrastinating not out of laziness, but out of emotional exhaustion, feeling guilty for not being more productive, more inspired, more engaged, not realizing that your spirit has simply been carrying too much for too long. You have been running on empty without rest, without replenishment, without space to breathe, and now your heart is trying to tell you that it is tired, that it needs healing, that it needs comfort, that it needs me. You have also felt unseen, as if the world moves around you without noticing the quiet storms happening inside you, as if the people close to you only notice your strength, but never the wounds behind it, as if everything you do goes unnoticed while everything you feel goes unheard. You have felt like your pain is invisible, like your efforts are invisible, like your goodness is invisible, like your heart is invisible. You have felt forgotten at times, not because people actually forgot you, but because the loneliness inside you grew louder than the reassurance around you. You have wondered if anyone truly understands you, if anyone sees the real you beneath your layers, if anyone recognizes how hard you are trying just to make it through the day. And this deep sense of invisibility has made you question your worth, your purpose, and your place in the world. All of this has made you lose your sense of direction. You have felt like you are wandering without a clear path, like you are pushing forward without knowing where you are going, like life is moving, but you are standing still, like your dreams are drifting away, like your purpose is fading, like the map of your future has been erased. You have been trying to figure out where you belong, who you are becoming, and what you are meant to do next. And the uncertainty has left you feeling lost, hesitant and unsure of yourself. Every time you think you have found clarity, doubt rises again. Every time you take a step forward, fear whispers that you are going the wrong way. Every time hope flickers, disappointment tries to put it out. You are not lost because you failed. You are lost because you have been carrying wounds that cloud your vision. My beloved child, hear me now. I have been near you through every single one of these moments. You felt alone when you cried, but I was sitting with you in the silence, my hand on your heart, catching every tear before it reached the ground. You felt like you were breaking, but I was holding every fractured part of you together. Even when you could not feel my hands. You felt weak, but I was strengthening the places inside you that were collapsing under the weight of everything you tried to manage alone. You felt confused, but I was whispering guidance into your spirit, even when your mind was too overwhelmed to recognize my voice. You felt empty, but I was placing new seeds inside you, seeds of hope, purpose, identity, healing that have been quietly growing even in seasons when you believe in nothing was happening. You felt tired of trying, but I was resting beside you, not demanding more from you, not pushing you, just waiting with you, so you did not endure the heaviness alone. Say, I am walking boldly in my calling if you are embracing His assignment. I have been near you in every breakdown, every silent cry, every moment when your heart trembled in the dark. I have watched you wipe your face quickly so no one would see your tears. I have listened to the thoughts you never said aloud, I have felt the fear you tried to hide behind your strength. I have held the loneliness you did not tell anyone about. I have seen the disappointment that sank into your chest after every setback. I have watched the quiet battle inside you, the one you fought with a bravery you do not even recognize in yourself. And not once did I leave your side, even when you could not feel me, even when you doubted my presence, even when you questioned whether I cared. I was closer to you than your own heartbeat. My tenderness toward you is not weak. It is protective, fierce, deep, and unchanging. I look at your hidden battles with compassion, not criticism. I look at your weariness with love, not judgment. I look at your tears with care, not disappointment. I look at your numbness with understanding, not frustration. I look at your confusion with patience, not anger. I have walked with you through every season, every storm, every heartbreak, every fear, and I have never once let you go. You have felt alone, but you never were. You have felt unsupported, but I carried you moments that would have crushed you. You have felt unseen, but I have watched every detail of your life with more attention than you could imagine. You have felt forgotten, but I have engraved your name on my heart. My child, I know how tired you are. I know how much you have endured. I know how much of your pain you have held inside, and I need you to understand that the weariness you feel is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that your heart has been fighting battles far too heavy for one soul to carry alone. And now I am asking you to let me carry what has been breaking you from the inside out. You do not have to stay lost. You do not have to stay numb. You do not have to stay exhausted. You do not have to keep pretending you are okay. I am here. I have been here. And I will stay here until every part of you finds rest again. My child, let me speak into the deepest places of your memory, the places where pain has settled like dust on a forgotten room inside your heart. Because I have seen everything you carried, and everything you tried to hide. I saw every heartbreak you lived through, those moments when love slipped out of your hands, even though you gave everything you had. Those moments when someone you trusted broke pieces of your spirit in ways you did not know how to describe. Those moments when your heart felt shattered and you wondered if it would ever feel whole again. I saw how you tried to stay strong even while you were breaking inside. How you tried to laugh through the ache. How you told yourself you would heal but secretly feared you never would. Your heartbreak was not invisible to me. I stood beside you in every moment. Your heart cracked under the weight of disappointment and longing. I saw every betrayal, not just the obvious ones but the subtle wounds that cut much deeper, the betrayal of friends you trusted. Of people who pretended to care but disappeared when you needed them most. Of connections that shifted without warning and left you confused and hurt. Of promises broken. Of words used like weapons. Of loyalty not returned. I saw how betrayal taught you to hold your heart tighter, to guard parts of yourself that once felt safe to share, to question whether anyone could truly be trusted. I watched how each betrayal carved lines of fear and caution across your spirit, how it made you suspicious of love, hesitant with vulnerability, and unsure of your own worth. And I held you in those moments when your tears fell, not just because you felt abandoned, but because you felt foolish for believing in someone's sincerity. I saw every disappointment that settled heavy in your chest. Every time you hoped for something that did not happen. Every time you reached for something that slipped away. Every time you worked hard but saw little progress. Every time life seemed to give less than you poured in. I saw how disappointment layered itself inside you like sediment, building heaviness that you carried without realizing how much it weighed you down. You blamed yourself for outcomes that were never your fault. You questioned your ability when the truth was that timing and alignment mattered more than effort, and you took each disappointment as a reflection of your value when it was simply the unfolding of a path you were never meant to walk. I saw every tear you cried alone, the ones that fell in the quiet hours of night when the world slept and your mask finally slipped off. Those tears you wiped quickly so no one would hear or see. The tears you swallowed during the day because life demanded strength instead of vulnerability. The tears that rolled down your face when you thought of everything you had lost, everything that had gone wrong, everything you were afraid of facing. You thought no one saw those tears, but I counted each one. I caught them before they reached the ground. I held you in the darkness when your chest tightened with grief and loneliness. I listened to every shaky breath, every silent sob, every whispered plea for help that you did not think anyone heard. And I heard every prayer you whispered half-broken. Those prayers that did not sound polished or confident. The ones that came out as fragments and trembling hopes. The prayers you whispered with a shaking voice because you did not know how much more you could take. The prayers you whispered in frustration when you did not understand what I was doing. The prayers you whispered out of habit, even when your faith felt thin. The prayers you whispered in exhaustion because you did not have the strength to form full sentences. I heard the prayers you whispered not with your mouth but with your tears, with your longing, with your tired body, with your wounded heart. I heard the prayers you meant to say, but could not voice because the pain was too deep to articulate. Every cry of your soul reached me. I also saw the nights you cried silently, so no one would hear. The nights you buried your face in your blanket. The nights you pressed your hand against your mouth to muffle your sobs. The nights you stared at the ceiling with tears streaming down your temples. The nights when your heart felt too swollen to contain the pain inside it. I saw how you curled up, trying to make yourself small enough to disappear from the weight of everything you were carrying. I saw how you shook from emotional exhaustion. I saw how you tried to calm yourself, telling yourself you had no right to feel this broken, no permission to collapse. But you did break, and I was with you through every moment of it. Not one tear, not one breath, not one ache slipped past my attention. I saw the wounds you carried from childhood, wounds you thought time had erased, but that still tug on your sense of identity today. The moments when you felt unwanted, unheard, misunderstood, or unloved. The scars from words spoken to you when you were younger that shaped the way you see yourself even now. The loneliness you felt before you knew how to describe loneliness. The pain of not receiving what your heart needed when it was still forming. The belief that you had to earn love, prove your worth, hide your weaknesses, or shrink yourself to be accepted. Those childhood wounds never went unnoticed by me. I held the child you were, and I hold the adult you have become. And even now I am healing the parts of you that have carried those hurts in silence. I saw the wounds from relationships you trusted, wounds that shook your belief in connection and love, wounds from people who left without explanation, wounds from people who used your softness for their advantage, wounds from people who promised consistency but gave you inconsistency, wounds from people who took more than they gave. Wounds from people who never valued your loyalty. I saw how each of those wounds made you question yourself, how they made you feel replaceable, insufficient, or unworthy of healthy love. But I want you to hear me clearly. None of those wounds were a reflection of your worth. They were reflections of their brokenness, not yours. I saw the wounds from failures that haunted you, the dreams that crumbled, the attempts that fell short, the goals you did not reach, the mistakes you made while you were only trying to survive. You punish yourself for these failures long after I forgave you. You let them shape your identity, letting them whisper lies that you were not capable, were not strong enough, were not intelligent enough, were not worthy enough. But I saw the courage behind those failures, the effort you gave, the hope you carried, the bravery it took just to try, and I never judged you for falling short. I honored you for standing back up again. Common, thank you for being so close. Lord, if He has been your constant companion, and share this video.